Shout out to all of the early risers. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. You're listening in to the nation. Let's go. All right. As promised, Law Nation is going to give you the facts. I told you guys, it makes your teeth white, it makes your beard grow if you're the fellas, and it makes your hair grow if you're the ladies. We're going to talk about it. I hope you got your cup of joe, and that's coffee for those who don't know. We going to look into this Dak Prescott contract as relates to details. My dog over there, Patrick Walker, the voice of the star, you know, he always delivering fire, you know, and they say fire is hot. So if you touch it, it burn, baby. It will burn. And I do know that there are people that's out there that's saying, man, this daily Dak conversation for the nation, I'm so tired of it, man. I don't even wash with Tide no more. I'm just that much tired of listening in to Dak Prescott situation. So with all that being said, when we look at everything, shout out to those that's on the Facebook panel. I see you, Billy. I see you, Harold. I see you, Edward. And let me see who's the first person over here on the YouTube, man. Locks, man, what's up? That let me know that you part of the notification game. Calvin, what's good with you? Royale, you know, Royale with cheese. What's good with you? Appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. Q, what's up, man? I hope you guys got your cup of joe, like I said earlier. Let's just jump right into it because I know it's Sunday, and I know that people are trying to prepare food, trying to prepare the family situation. I hope everybody's still washing their hands, still keeping their distance, and doing the right thing so that you guys can see us go to the Super Bowl and win it all, you know? Right. I want to see you guys there. Where? In the Super Bowl. Where it's going to be at this year? Tampa Bay, right? I want to see y'all there in Miami. So, well, not Miami, but Florida, I meant to say. But neither here nor there. Let's listening into what my dog had to say, the voice of the star. It says, if you want up to the minute, the latest, greatest information. Now, I'm not talking about good information. You can go somewhere else. You can flat out go somewhere else for good information. But for great information, go to my dog over here, the voice of the star. Hit him up on Twitter. You guys see it. Let's just go hit play. Let me hit play right quick.
Well, currently where we are is the Cowboys. They've offered Dak Prescott a 5-year deal worth an average of around $35 million per year. Now, obviously, that comes up to a 5-year, $175 million max value deal. There's been no progress.
All right, so that's where the $175 million come from, right? For those who don't know, that's where it came from. 5 years, 35 mil. It's just that the other news the other day that they try to put out the 175 without the details. So this is the part of the details. And this is the art of the negotiation period too. We got to be able to negotiate, and that's just how it goes, Cowboy Nation. Contract negotiation is never a beautiful thing.
Breaking the law, Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, so it's never a clear. Shout out to you, Tavis, man, for dropping $20, man. Hey, in the super chat, man. I really appreciate you help growing this thing and elevating this thing all the way through. So contract negotiation is never a beautiful situation. It is always gritty-ish, it's always grimish, it's always who's going to get more of the pie. It's kind of like, when you go into a situation and you say to yourself, how can I get the best for me? And Jerry is like, how can I get the best for me? And the agent is saying, how can I get the best for me? Those are three me's, That's a lot of me situation. There's only a very few people that say, man, I would play for scot-free. I would play straight up for scot-free. I don't know where that person's at, because now the agent is going to say, I can't represent you. Because if I represent you in these factors, in these situations, guess what? Somebody else is going to say, nah, I can't do it. The agent got to still meet his quota. I think that they probably quota based. They still got to meet with their particular other clients. So it's so many things within the confines of me. It's crazy, man. Sip on another cup of coffee, man. Sip on, y'all sip with me. Y'all sip with me. Let's go with it.
In the last few weeks, though, and the passing of his brother factors into that as well. But this most recent offer was put on the table as recently as just after the NFL Combine in Indianapolis. Now, I'm told that the guarantee money that's sitting on the table is approximately $106 million. The Cowboys, they've come down from their ask of 6 or 7 years on their term. Dak Prescott.
Now, let me just stop him again, because I got to do this. This is what we call going over the details. 6 to 7 years, and you guys can play it fully if you go to his Twitter page, Voice of the Star, and you can just listen to the excerpt yourself. I'm just trying to break it down to the closest way possible. 6 to 7 years. The Joneses reached out to Dak Prescott, Todd France agent, and said, hey, here's the contract for 6 to 7 years. Now, we ask out here on the street, where they do that at? Who gives somebody a 6 to 7 years? So we can write this down in a chart of truths, okay? So if you got a chart of truths, you can write that down. That means that the Dallas Cowboys are already thinking long-term with Dak Prescott. This is nothing to do with the Dallas Cowboys don't trust Dak Prescott. You don't put out a 6 to 7 year contract to someone and you say, well, I don't trust them. That would be crazy in its own sentence. Why would you give a guy 6 to 7 years if you don't trust him? So for anybody, all of the Dak Prescott reverse apologists, you can just tell them and say, hey, Cowboys do trust him. It's just that they trying to be coy with it. They trying to do something unique that never been done before. Let me know where I'm lying at. Ain't this right, Sandy? Really appreciate you. And also shout out to you, Jessica. Let's listen to more what he have to say.
Countered initially with 3 years. He's come up to 4 years. So a little bit of a stalemate, but it's a minor impasse considering the Cowboys have planted their flag at 5 years and Dak Prescott sits at 4. Now, he's firm on 4, but he's open to 5. In order for the Cowboys to get that 5th year out of Dak Prescott, I'm told they're going to have to put more money on the table. That's probably going to have to come by way of the guaranteed money. They're willing to go upwards of $110 million or slightly more to try to get him in for that 5th year. But Dak Prescott, he's trying to put himself in position where he can renegotiate under the terms of the new collective bargaining agreement, new television contract money.
So you got multiple things in this situation, and the conversations within the confines of what they're talking about. You got television money that's going to be around. And he talked about gambling money. The NFL is open up to gambling money. I didn't even think of that. You can gamble anywhere now. You got people gambling on every down, every series, who going to be the first person to touch the ball outside of the center and the quarterback. You got so many things as it relates to money in the NFL, how you can make your coins, how you can make certain profit and these sort of things. So Dak Prescott saying to himself, and the agent probably said it to Dak Prescott, hold on, they done already got 4 years out of you for $4 million. To collectively think about this, just think about this. Michael Gallup make more money than Dak Prescott, and he was just drafted. Let me repeat, Michael Gallup made more money than Dak Prescott. And we not talking about the sponsor dollars. I don't want to hear people talk about, well, he getting sponsorship deals. So that means to tell everybody that work for YouTube or jump on YouTube that does social media, whatever you do on the side, or even if you cut grass on the side, you should go to your employee and say, you know what? Instead of me making $20 an hour, just pay me $11.50. Pay me $11.50 because I got this side business that I cut grass on the weekend. And I'm making all types of cash, cutting yards and stuff. Or I cut hair on the side. I'm getting people temper fades and all of this stuff and lines looking like a laser done did it. You know what, job? Don't pay me at all. Just pay me peanuts because I'm making my money on the side. It does not go that way. And Todd France, I guess the agent for Dak Prescott, they can't operate in that lane. They can't do that because they will say, yeah, you are a client, but how are we going to get somebody else after 10 years you gone? That's the reality of it. So when we listen to these type of things,
into the league that's going to balloon the salary cap in the next couple of years. He wants to get in on that. So they're close. Nothing is imminent right now, but they're still on pace to get this deal done by the July 15th deadline.
So he's saying they're trying to get this deal done by the July 15th deadline. Let me just try to wrap this around your mind. Early in his excerpt here in his conversational piece, is 1 minute and 22 seconds long, but it's very valuable and it's a lot of information that I want you guys to soak in. He said that what happened within the Dak Prescott contract negotiation, some unforeseeable things happened. Some things that you just can't just say, all right, let's just talk about this. No, he lost his brother. Let me repeat. He lost his brother. So if you Jerry Jones, just listen to what I'm trying to say. If you Jerry Jones and you're in the heat of negotiation, how in the world you going to reach out to Dak Prescott and say, hey, man, I know you're burying your brother, and I know that the scripture says let the dead bury the dead, but neither here nor there. Let me see if I can bring you into the office and let's talk this contract. No. Jerry don't do that. We had a fella a couple years ago who actually was in a car wreck, and he was drinking and driving, what have you, and killed his teammate. Jerry kept that dude on the team and gave him money and put it in his pockets. I want people to understand that Jerry is a very passionate person, but he's very understanding as well. And beyond that time, I forgot the kid's name. I think his name was Josh Brent, and I think, may he rest in peace, Jerry Ball. Those were the two. But didn't you guys understood what was going on during that time frame? It was not time to say, hey, I told you. Hey, it's time for you to stop doing this. It's time for me to chastise and brutalize you. It wasn't that time for that. Why everybody in the world was sitting there saying, how can he be drinking and driving? Or I've seen comments, hey, he making all of this money. Don't you know that the NFL got programs where all he had to do is just pick up his phone and make a quick call? But Jerry Wayne Jones himself said, you know what? It's time for me to step in, because we all had our slip ups. We all had our pitfalls. Let me know where I'm lying at, nation. let me know where I'm lying at. I just have to pull up this thing because I want people to understand that, yes, football is one thing, but life is another. And sometimes you got to allow yourself to sit back and look at it from a different angle. If you guys not in church, you guys are getting some good stuff right now. It's just the reality of it right now. So fans, all I can say is, and I know we have a right to be upset. We have a right to be angry. We have a right to say, man, Law, it's been 25 years. Could be 26. Hey, since we talking about these topics, that's just how football goes. It's not guaranteed that you're going to win the Super Bowl every year. It's not guaranteed that you're going to be in the dance every other year, unless you're the Patriots. But if you flip it around, give me that division. Let the Dallas Cowboys play in that division every year. Man, it's crazy how people fail to realize things. And just because the situation with Jason Garrett being here for those multiple years, people make mistakes. Long mistakes. There's people right now that's in the chat that's still paying for their mistakes. There's people right now in their 40s and 50s and 60s still paying off student loans, still trying to figure out ways, how can I put money on the student loan, and they graduated in 92. Let me know if I'm lying. That's just how life is. You make mistakes. You try to figure out how you can overcome it. And sometimes they don't overcome for those. But I can tell you that contract negotiation out in public, man, it leaves so much room for people to insert their opinions, whether it's fact, whether it's so far off, whether they're so far right on the right path. But I do know that there's trends. There's the historical data that we can go back on, and we can say to ourselves with our natural eyes, we've seen this before. Oh, Lord, where have we seen this at? A guy that wears number 90 on his team. Oh, we've seen this before. A guy that wears number 19. Stretch this thing out. Oh, what happened to this other guy that they doing this situation to? Ezekiel, the main man, Elliott. Ezekiel Elijah Elliott. That's that man's whole name. He had to go through a whole bunch of stuff, and he had to go all the way to Cowboys to say, okay, I'm going to figure out how to get his money. You know good and well how all of this stuff would have went if Ezekiel Elliott would have waited until this year to start asking for his money, especially knowing what the Carolina Panthers just did for CMC. Boy, can you imagine? Can you wrap your mind around this? Two of these situations going on at one time? Good morning, Miss Jackie. Really appreciate you. Thank you so much for tuning in to this thing. Cowboy Nation, I just try to put things out here so that you guys can physically see what's going on. A lot of this team is stacked up, bro. This is from Big Carl. I'm going to read some of your comments. Let me see how long I've been live. If you guys would like to call in, maybe I could do a quick call-in sessions, maybe 2 or 3 calls or what have you to speak your mind on this. Let me know if you guys would like to voice your opinion. I always love to hear from different thoughts, objectively speaking. Let me know if you guys would like to do that this morning. You know what? Some of you guys are bandwagon. Jump on when we 13-3. Dak was the beast, and then it was the best during that time frame. And then since sliced bread. This is from my dog Donald over here on Facebook. Man, really appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me read over some of the super chats too, man, for those who sponsoring this wonderful stream. Right? Give me a few seconds, and we'll open up the phone lines for your mind. And then we'll get out of here. We will get on out of here. Shout out to you again, Tavis, for making $20 for the sponsor for the day. Mr. Wright, Antoine Myers, man, I really, really appreciate you, bro. I really do. It seems like the Cowboys been trying to pay him. This is for, he's 1,000% right. And then he dropped another super chat over here for $9.99 for your mind. I really appreciate you. And David Hicks, thank you for becoming a member. We got David. When you become a member, you get special privileges and we got some behind the scenes actions over there on the YouTube page. So check that out, and some of the people that's the mods, they can show you how to get there. All right, so let's open up the phone lines, man. I really appreciate you guys, man, so much for tuning in to this thing and helping this thing grow, baby. I do, man. I really do. So with that being said, 682-214-4087 is the phone number. Mods, if you're there, can you repost the number in the chat box so people can see or know where to go if they want to call in? And we'll keep it short and sweet today. And let me see if I can put this out there. Shout out to the bots, man, for posting the I guess the situation where you can help support this thing. 682-214-4087 is the number. Let me put it on the screen there. And like I said, I love to know your thoughts. I love to know what you guys feel when you're talking about the Dak Prescott conversation, the Dak Prescott, contract, the Dak Prescott, will he be on his team from here on out? I think he will. I think that the Joneses are giving him time to grieve. I think the Joneses are giving him time to, go over everything with his family, to plan certain things. And then I think the Joneses are also looking at it like, how can we help this team out too? Don't get it twisted. I think that they're looking at every angle. And I think that Stephen Jones have a major push on all of this. I think Stephen Jones is the guy that's kind of like the wild card, the wow factor. Is he smooth talk? What's good with you, man? He says, is he getting paid, when, and how much? I think that he will get paid. I think that it's going to be on the north end of 100 and maybe 7 million guaranteed, or 110 million guaranteed. I think it's going to be around that ballpark. Just like when D-Law got his paper, right? He got his coins, and everybody was saying that, hey, he's not Khalil Mack. He's not this. He's not that. But the reality of it, shout out to you, 210. You in. 210, you are in now. Let me know.
Hello?
Yeah, you're in.
Hey, what's up, Law?
Nothing to it, man. Nothing to it. It's early in the morning. I'm pumped up off of coffee, and we talking Dak Prescott. What's on your mind?
Absolutely. All right, well, here's one thing. Because I just got a huge concern about how everybody's feeling about this whole Dak contract situation, how everybody's looking at him like he's being greedy. Look, I just want to let everybody know, for one thing, we got to stop, getting annoyed with Dak. This isn't his fault. It's the Cowboys' fault. Because if you think about it, because everybody's like, oh, they already offered him $35 million. Oh, they offered him $33 million. I'm like, that's true, but they should have offered him that in the beginning. Because remember, I think the first offer, remember they lowballed him in Town France with a $25 million offer.
Yeah, the first offer would have been valid before 2019. They offered him a $25 million contract right at the cusp of 2019 season started. But if they would have offered him, if they would have offered him the $25 million right after the 2018 season, then I would say to myself, yeah, that would have been a valid offer.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Because in my opinion,
right.
Their window, the perfect window to sign Dak Prescott to at least 30, 31, 33 million, or at least 32 before the Eagles signed Wentz.
Yeah.
The perfect window was right after the 2018 season, because that's when we made that playoff run and he led us to that victory against the Seahawks.
Yeah.
No, that was the perfect window, and they screwed it up. You should have gotten this deal done.
Mm-hmm. But this is the same situation that I was talking about as well with DeMarcus Lawrence. We could have signed DeMarcus Lawrence for $14 million after his first contract was up, and then it was like, well, we got to see it again. And then he bet on himself, and he got 11.5 sacks, and then everybody had to say, well, let's dig deep into the pocket. and that's why he getting paid the money that he got now. He got paid an extra $6 to $7 million now because of the fact that he played, and he played pretty well.
Exactly. No, I mean, because I want people to understand, because obviously everybody knows that I am a huge Dak Prescott fan. I'm a huge Dak Prescott fan. But at the same time, I'm not an apologist. I'm a realist, though, because I want people to be no, because I want people to understand. I do not want to look. I'm a huge Dak fan. I'm gonna say this right now. I'm being real. I do not want to pay Dak Prescott $35 to $40 million. I don't, because you're right. That is too much money for him. That's top 5 money. He's not top 5. He's top 10. By the way, in my opinion, if you. I think he's ranked around at least 7, 8, 9, or 10. No higher, because if you have him in the top 5, you as a Dak fan, you straight up delusional if you have him top 5. But if you have him outside of the top 10 or barely 15, then you're just a troll, because that's top 10. I'm sorry, you can hate him, you can feel however you want, but he is top 10 for sure.
Yeah, so I see what you're saying. So he's not in the 20 range, and he's not in the 15 range. In your analysis, you got him right at 10, around an 8, 9, 10-ish range. And that's pretty much where it goes, because when Tony Romo got his contract, he wasn't the number 1 quarterback in the NFL. He wasn't the number 2, number 3, number 4. He was right in that cusp of right around 6, 7, or 8, quarterback with big, huge reservation because of the injury factor and, of course, of the big turnovers and big games and things like that. So the Cowboys reached into their pocket and they gave him a contract deal, which was pretty long. Six-year contract was kind of whoa, what the Cowboys are doing. But they offered Dak Prescott similar, and his agent was like, nah, that's way too low based off of the last year that we did. Now, they would have probably taken that contract at the end of 2018 because he was at the mercy seat. Because I believe that Amari Cooper, if he never came on the team in 2018, there are 3 people that would have been really at the chopping block. 1 being Jason Garrett, 2 being Ezekiel, the main man Elliott, because we was 1-5 or something like that, whatever the record was, and of course Dak Prescott. But Amari Cooper flipped everything around. But to be on the opposite side of this, Amari Cooper also benefited because guess what? In Raiders land, he was trash.
Yes. Dude, get me out, because I keep telling people that. They keep talking about, y'all remember what Dak Prescott looked like before Amari Cooper? I'm like, okay, but hold on. But what did Amari Cooper look like? Because remember what everybody was saying in the beginning. Because before the Cooper trade happened, what was everybody saying? Oh, Cooper's not worth the first round pick. Oh, Cooper's washed up.
Yeah,
I think that's what they said. That's what everybody said. Even the Cowboys fans, they said, "Don't waste that first round pick.
Yeah,
use that first round pick to get a quarterback or a safety." Y'all said that. Oh, now Cooper made that better. I'm like, no.
Man, you speaking the truth now, man. And people fail to realize that part of it. So, if you got, what else you got for the show?
Oh, okay. One more thing, because this has really been bugging the crap out of me, because how everybody's bringing up his record against winning teams, which one thing, we already established this, because I said in his first 3 years, he was 3 games above 500 against playoff teams, but nobody was saying that. But also, here's one thing: if it's really Dak Prescott who can't beat winning teams, I want everybody to think about this. I want y'all to go back to 2011. I mean, I would say 2010, but I don't count that because Jason Garrett, he didn't get there till halfway. I mean, 2011, that was his first full season. And go back to 2011, 2012, 13, 14, 15. I want y'all to look at all the winning teams that we beat and all the teams that we lost to. I guarantee you, they are not good. We were 1-4 or something like that in 2011. Because I think the only winning team that we beat that year was the 49ers. And I think the 13, I believe. I think it was the Bengals. Because I remember we went up in Cincinnati and we won by a field goal or something. bottom line is like we weren't good against winning teams before Dak Prescott even came in. Like we were really bad because remember, like with the Patriots, the Packers, was like the Broncos, the Ravens, the Chiefs, Chargers.
Yeah,
like all those
I'm gonna pick that up off air, but I really appreciate you, brother. Yeah, I'm definitely
Yes,
gonna
sir.
dive right into that, man. That's a good point, man. I'm gonna bring it up right now. Appreciate you. Salute. That's a good call from the 210 about the winning team situation. I want people to understand and realize this, that we had a coach that didn't believe in analytics. We had a coach that believed in you line up your best versus my best, and we'll figure this thing out. And on top of that, when you think about it, collectively speaking, it was just that if you can name me 5 teams that we played against within the confines of the past 10 years that you look back and say, you know what? Man, we out-coached them. Man, we just methodically moved the ball down the field, whether it be a Tony Romo-led team or whether it be a Dak Prescott-led team or whoever played quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys during that time frame. It will be hard for you to find me 5 good games. And it'd just be hard, even if you throw in the 2014 team against the Seattle Sea Chickens. If you think about that game, if it wasn't for Sweet Feet, if it wasn't for Terrence Williams making that extended play, we still probably would lose that game. So I want people, and that was the brilliancy of Tony Romo opposed to the coaching staff. So I want you guys to find me. Matter of fact, I'll help you out. Find me four. Since we're talking about Dak Prescott, find me 4 games that you can look back on in the last 13 years. Forget 10, 13 years that you can say, man, this Dallas Cowboys team came in and they methodically beat this team out, and I felt comfortable that we was going to get this win. Let me know. And it's playoff caliber teams. And I ain't talking about, well, I'll just say any team, forget it, not even playoff caliber team. Let me know. The phone line is back open now, and just pull them out, pull out those games, or point out those games and put it on, hit me up, whether it be post this live stream or what have you, and let me know. Georgia, really appreciate you. Sally, thank you for tuning in. Rose, really appreciate you. Joyce Harris, really appreciate you for tuning in to the nation. Dak is definitely a professional. Yes, indeed, Mark. Really appreciate you as well. So 4 teams, 4 of them. That's all we need. We had a coach who didn't know blank about, put players in position to be successful. This is Cowboy Fan 91. And trust me, this is not the moment nor the time for me to say I'm raining on Jason Garrett, but this is just me putting out the facts. I'm telling you. And we love our team. We supported our team, but we still had reservations on our team. We still had thoughts of like, man, we up by 20, but remember what happened in Detroit. We lost that game. Oh, we up by 20. Remember what happened in Green Bay. We lost that game. You know what I'm saying? It just seems like we always fall into those traps, man. But now we have a different situation, a different scenario. We do. And I really appreciate everybody. What Dak done for our postseason. This is from Greg Jenkins. Appreciate you. What Dak did for the postseason is exactly what we thought he was going to do with this particular coaching staff. I got video to validate what I'm talking about. Banks, really appreciate you for dropping $9.99 for your mind, man. Really appreciate you, man. And exactly what we thought what would happen is exactly what happened. Remember this? I was saying that when the Dallas Cowboys get to the playoff, our best chance will be a wild card, meaning that we can't have off days, because what will happen here, we won't be prepared. We will not be prepared. Remember I said that? Several videos. You guys can just go check it up, look it up, and you will see what I was talking about with that. We got another call, 540. What do you know? Call back 540. We got several of conversational topics of me talking about the Dallas Cowboys. I want them to go into the playoff wild card. That way we can use that momentum, beat that first team, and then maybe we can have a fair fighting chance against the second team. The only playoff victories that we won in these type of situations was the wild card game. 540, what's good? Talk to me.
Hey, Law.
You're live.
I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan since 1975. And everything you speaking is the absolute truth. I don't know if you remember, Tony Romo was commentating one of our games. And he talked about when we were like in the red zone and we were driving down the field. He said these words on national TV. A timeout was called. He said he never went to Jason Garrett when it came to critical situations like this. That taught me a lot, and it told the whole story that Tony Romo had to do a lot on his own. When you look at that, Dak learned a lot of critical decision making. He couldn't just go and get a plan from his coach or the out-of-date offensive coordinator. He had to learn to kind of do a lot on his own. So a lot of these things that you're saying, if you are a true fan, you know exactly what this looked like, and it sounds so familiar. But I think we're going down a path next year that we have not seen in a long time. I think this coaching staff that we have, they're going to use each player to the strength. They're going to scheme. I haven't seen a scheme. I don't even know what Jason was doing. But I always felt like, as you stated, we were never prepared. Never. And I always felt, even when we got a lead, I never felt comfortable.
Never. Regardless of how much we was up by.
Man, Eli Manning used to keep me up every night. You know why? Because Eli knew Jason Garrett. I don't care what the Giants' record was, I was never comfortable. Ever. That's why I have respect for Eli Manning.
Oh, that good old
okay.
Eli. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. This is good. This is not a good call at all. This is a great call. I really appreciate you dropping the facts in, letting people know that what real Cowboy fans see with their natural eyes of the game. Because we can look back at this thing and say, yeah, this and that. But the reality of it, it was a blessing in disguise. Jason Garrett, inability to make necessary adjustments, inability to call perfect games last year when we had the weaponry that we had for us to be 8-8, to ultimately for Jason Garrett to be labeled as an 8-8 head coach, for that to be his last year, which put us in a better situation as it relates to drafting, put us in a better situation as it relates to getting better head coaches out here and coaches in general. I just think that this team is different. I think that we're crossing all of the T's and dotting the I's, and I just think that we're going to be in a better situation collectively speaking.
You're all right. But it's good to hear you, the content. I like everything y'all do, Silver and Blue, Big Game James, and the little dude on the side. I forgot his name. With the
Skywalker Steve. He's the MVP for the. He's going to be the rookie of the year. This man is on fire. His freshman year, so he plays the right way. You know.
Yeah, y'all above everybody. I mean, y'all can get my money all day, but I like what you do.
Appreciate it so much.
All right. Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a war call after this one. Appreciate you. Salute.
All right. Thank you.
This is Sparta!
That's what I'm talking about. Brilliant call. Brilliant. Man, putting everybody in the right situation. Been a fan since 1975, and we live like 95. Man, I'm telling you, that is what people need to understand. I know some people know it, some people see it, but they just refuse. They refuse to accept it. 804, what do you know? You're live.
What's up, Law?
Man, it's your world on this beautiful Sunday. What's good?
Man, I just want the fans to appreciate Dak a little bit more than what's been shown lately. I remember when Dak was called the dink and dunk thrower his first 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Dak last year from his rookie year is like day and night. The guy played underpaid his whole career, and people is mad that he wants to get paid now. Half the fans that work at a Walmart wouldn't stay at Walmart for a year if they told them we'll give you a raise in 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
They'll quit. This man played. I remember when we had Kellen Moore, Matt Castle as our quarterback, John Kidner coming in.
Goodness.
We have a solid quarterback. When Romo used to get hurt, I always thought we have nobody to take over when Romo is done. We have a 4th-round pick quarterback that's amazing. He might not be top 5, but he's top 10 in my eyes.
Yeah.
And with this new coaching staff that we have, I just can't wait to get on the field, see him get on the field. And Dak is going to get signed. Jerry Jones is smart. He's not going to not sign Dak. Dak's contract will get done. Whether Dak wants 3 years or 4 years, the media is just, Jerry loves their attention. Dak is going to get signed. All the fans need to stop stressing out. Andy Dalton will not be starting week 1 for Dak.
Man, you're speaking some truth. And shout out to my dog, man. I got to give him a shout out again. Antoine Myers over here, he made another donation while we was talking, and he was saying that Dak Prescott got paid for his position where he was drafted at, which he's right in a sense. Nevertheless, I recall, I think it was it Odell Beckham, or was it I'm sorry, Odell Beckham. I keep calling him Odell. But didn't he try to say, okay, let me renegotiate my contract, while he was still under his rookie's contract? And they put more money in his pocket, I believe. And I think that's the same situation in the same scenario for Ezekiel Elliott. Sometimes where you drafted at doesn't mean that you should be kept making the type of money that you're making, if I can say that in better terms. I hope you can break it down for me.
I just want the fans to show Dak some love. This man showed up from a 4th-round pick. Mom, dad, brother, just like y'all, the fans got to relax. Let the process play out. Dak is going to get paid. And then when Dak do great next year, I want the same energy from them fans as saying that he's overpaid. He's going to get what the market is set. That's not Dak's fault that Carson Wentz getting paid this much. It's not Dak's fault the Vikings paid Kirk Cousins that much money. And that's what it is, but I do know one thing. I just hope Dallas give him the money before Mahomes reset that market to something crazy.
Yeah, the market is the market, and it's going up. It's not going down. And that's just the price of doing business. Dak Prescott, if they wanted him at $25 million, they should have stepped out on a leap of faith and paid the brother the $25 million right after 2018. He would have hurried up and signed that deal. But he bet on himself as well.
It's said that Kelly Moore made more. Kelly Moore made more money than Dak Prescott, I think, as a Cowboy. Ain't that crazy?
Oh wow! I have to relook at it, but it would be crazy. I had to check out his contract, but I can say that Michael Gallup did.
I'm including it as a coach too.
Oh yeah. Oh wow. Yeah. I will look it up, man. Anything else you got for the show?
Nope. Everybody show Dak some love and just chill out. Just chill out. It's gonna get done.
Yes, indeed, man. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for calling in to the nation.
right.
Salute. Good call, man. I see his angle. I see other people's angle as well. All I'm saying is, it's really, we a million miles away from this. It's just like this. It's really our opinions. 3, 2, 1. You in?
Hello?
What's good, man? You're live on the Nation. Call back 321. 321, call back. All right, so we got to understand that this is just our opinions, nevertheless, but when facts meets opinions, facts overrule. All right, 475, what's good? 475. Unmute yourself. 5, 4, 3, 2, call back. 682-214-4087. I got about 10 more minutes with you all. I'm going to try to just go for an hour and we get back to family stuff. And 214. Boy, this line is jumping, baby. You're live.
What's happening, oh man? What's happening?
Nothing to it, man. Tell me what's good.
First off, man, being from Dallas, I gotta ask you a question. How you get a 682 number with a 214? Only Dallas people understand what I'm talking about. I'm up here laughing, man. Wow.
It's the Nation plug. You know what I mean?
It's the Nation plug. You did. But man, but about this day situation, man. About the caller, the lady, like 2 calls ago, when she was speaking about how Tony Romo was talking about on TV. Well, remember Jason Witten was on Monday Night Football talking about at times he wished the coach would let them be more up tempo, and he hated they always just held the ball when they had a defense on their heels. Like we all say that at home as fans. We don't know the playbook, but we know, like, come on, y'all, seriously? You holding us up.
Yeah. I mean, here's what my granddaddy and my grandmother used to always say. Not everybody's lying on you. And I'm going to let people let that sink in. Y'all might want to write this down. Not everybody's lying on you. Meaning that somewhere is the truth. We had Patrick Creighton say the same thing. We had Terrell Owens, or Terrell Owens, that's how you say his name, say the same thing. Oh, we had DeMarco Murray, DeMarcus Ware. There was a lot of people saying that, hey, this Jason Garrett offense is what it is, you know. And it's just sad that it took the Dallas Cowboys 13 collective years of Jason Garrett administration for us to just finally kick the can over, you know.
Yep.
And it's just sad,
and another,
you know.
It's sad. And then about this 8-8 season, people want to blame Dak for. I've been trying to break it down for some of my people. We actually should be happy we went 8-8 because honestly, if you look outside of Dak, the team should have been 4-12. Let's break it down. We had the most missed tackles in the NFL.
Wow.
We had the worst field goal kicking in the NFL. Missed 10 kicks. A coach that played for 50 to 60 yard, the worst percentage field goal kicking. You had players who came on TV and said they all stopped listening to the coaches. They started playing for each other. You had the most drop passes. I mean, show me how is that a 8-18 without that? Explain to me. Zeke was the worst first down running back. I mean, you behind the sticks. I'm curious. Where was the 8-18 without that?
Yeah,
I mean, like 4-12 to me.
It smelled like 4-12. We would have had a better draft pick, right? That's one thing that somebody can say about it. Look, Tony Romo and Dak Prescott hurt the Dallas Cowboys by having us not having the best draft picks, basically, because Tony Romo will win you just enough games, and then when they get cold, all of a sudden there's the stretcher, or there's this something phantom injury, and then of course, he had to overcome the coaching inefficiencies, and Dak Prescott is in the same wheelhouse, and the sullying and the denigrations of Ezekiel Elliott. We saw it. We knew it. It's just like with no stretch of imagination. Law, do you have any, as they say, Law, do you have any proof on that? Can you deliver us facts? Here's the facts. Can you close your eyes and imagine Ezekiel Elliott on the 49ers? Can you imagine that coach?
Baltimore.
Or Baltimore, or even with the New England Patriots. For sure that, yes, they're going to try to run the ball, but it's not going to be blatantly. Everybody, mama, uncle, cousin, Tupac, and Biggie coming out of the grave knew that Dak Prescott was going to hand the ball off to Ezekiel Elliott on first down. It's just how it goes.
And then it ain't just he handing it to him. He's straight up. There's no kind of disguise on how you gonna handle the ball.
Line up I formation and just run it right. Line up pro style, pro set, running the ball. That was just what it was. It wasn't no stretch of imagination. Wasn't no illusion. It was like, hey, we gonna line them up, lace them up. We do what we do best. Whether it's on the moon, whether it's on Saturn, whether it's wherever Pluto, we gonna do what we do best. That's just how our philosophy was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you saw, I got one last point. The first 3 games, we saw Kellen Moore creativity.
Mm-hmm.
We saw, what do we see? Motion. We saw multiple formations.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, just out the blue, what happened? Wait a minute. Don't blame it on we played good teams. Now you can go in there with the motion and see if it worked. They ain't just running no more. Like, wait a minute. I thought saying comeback routes again. Like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Sound like somebody done jump in a.
The craziest thing. The craziest thing before I let you go. The craziest thing is we lose to the Jets, right? And the world was burning.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, Cowboys are the Cowboys. Accident waiting to happen. We beat the Miami Dolphins. Cowboys can't beat nobody. You know what I'm saying? They just beat up on these regular fluff teams. The Miami Dolphins beat the Eagles. You see what I'm saying? It's crazy how the narrative will be always flipped in a sense, whereas no matter who we play and who we beat, it's never nobody. And then when we finally beat somebody, it still was nobody. And when we call out the truth of the fact of the matter, everybody say, well, it's the Dallas Cowboys. We knew with everything what was going to happen with Jason Garrett. It was no fairy tale. We knew exactly what he was going to do. And we knew that if we played the best team in the NFL, we'll play up to the level. If we play the worst team in the NFL, we'll play down to the level. It was just never, we're going to dominate.
No.
What else you got for the show, fam?
Man, I love the show, man. I've been on you for some years, man. I love you, Mark Holmes, everybody. Big Game Giants, everybody, man. Y'all keep doing y'all thing. Keep spinning the facts. And look, we can be fans of Dak and still criticize them, but people go too far with the, hey, I don't understand it. Man, we got McCarthy in there. If y'all don't see what he's doing this offseason going forward, already is different. Man, hey, I don't know what to say. Y'all better get out there Jason Garrett mind frame. Y'all finna be left behind.
Yeah, stop being institutionalized. You right. And realize. Appreciate you, fam. Salute.
We Garrett-tutionized.
Right, we need to coin that. Salute, bro.
Yeah, salute.
That's a good call from a man. One more call, and we're going to wrap this thing up. 682-214-4087. You can also text that number, and it's open all day, every day. 267, what's on your thoughts?
Hello?
Yes, you're live on The Nation.
Oh, what's going on, Law? This Fatimus Prime, man.
Fatimus, what's good with you?
What's going on, man? How you, man?
Oh, man, I'm better than I deserve.
All right, man. That's good. Hey, man, as long as we wake up with 2 feet on the ground, we good.
Yes,
we
indeed.
Good.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Yeah, but I wanted to bring up something, and I wanted to get your take on this real fast, though, man. And as always, I appreciate everything you do. Like I said, I'm relatively new. I joined like within a week. I told you that I joined within a week of finding your content. So I really appreciate you giving the fans an outlet and a voice, because you are the voice of us, man. So keep doing what you're doing. We appreciate everything. I just wanted to talk about, again, like I said before, when I called it before, you got my wheels turning. So many things that you touched on, but I'm going to just talk about, let me just talk about that Saints game. And I want to get your, you know what I mean, when we hang up, you can let me know. But with that Saints game, though, man, what a lot of people don't realize is that was a classic Garrett game right there that we lost. And I'm going to tell you why. You got to look at who was on the other side of the field. And you could say this is a conspiracy theory or whatever you want to call it. But I think that game, and it showed, that was Jason Garrett trying to go toe-to-toe with Sean Payton. Because think about it. Sean Payton, I'm going to tell you like this. Jerry Jones loves Sean Payton.
He did.
If you ever hear Jerry Jones, the way he talk about Sean, he always be like, yeah, well, Sean this and Sean that, blah, 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 blah. He loves himself some Sean Payton. I think Jason Garrett knows that. And when they went into that game, Jason Garrett wanted to show Jerry, hey, listen, I'm the guy. And he fell flat on his face. Because Jerry Jones loved Sean Payton. When he was with Dallas and everything, he loved Sean Payton. So you could say it's a conspiracy theory or whatever, but if you saw the difference in the games, the ones with Kellen Moore's playing, because let's keep it real, and even with that game, you're not going to see no more of that anyway. You're not going to see us hold a Drew Brees-led team to 12 points and still lose a game. That's not happening under Mike McCarthy. I mean, so that's not happening no more. Yeah. So those days are gone.
Yeah,
but I wanted
Teddy Bridgewater started in that game, and his average passing attempt was a world's low of 4.4 average passing attempts, which was crazy. Which is universally crazy.
Teddy Bridgewater led team. I said Drew Brees. I meant Teddy Bridgewater. I knew he was out. But we're not going to hold them to 12 points.
Right.
Yeah, we're not going to hold them to 12 points and lose a game. You could say the same thing about the Patriots game. Like, we're not going to hold the Patriots to 15 points and still lose a game under Mike McCarthy. So if you look at it right there, that's two wins right there. Like, I don't know how anybody can say that this team can't run with anybody, man, because I ain't even going to front. When y'all did the schedule release, when y'all did that stream, I'm looking at it, man. I'm like, listen, man, you call it homerism or whatever you want to call it. I'm like, man, we can go 14-2. It's a lot of teams that I'm not even worried about because I feel like we can beat them. We can go 14-2 real easy.
Man,
you know what I mean? And like I said,
love it. Yeah.
Listen, we got to listen. I'm a lot of these teams I'm not worried about. I'm really not. And one of those losses is going to be a fluke loss where we might just lose. Like we might come out a little flat. And it might be like to the Browns or something like that. But we going 14-2, man. I ain't worried about. Only team I see giving us really a run is Baltimore. But I wanted to get your take on that because if you ever listen to Jerry over the years, whenever he talks about Sean Payton, though, he ain't got nothing but love for Sean Payton. I think it hurts him that he watched Sean leave and go ahead and win that ring over in New Orleans. You know what I mean? So, but just think about that for a minute. How that Saints game went and how we saw the explosiveness from the offense the first three games. Then we go ahead and play the Saints, and it's like, oh, why are we playing so flat?
Well,
you know what I mean?
Let me break this down right quick while I got you live on the show, and let me know if I'm telling anything that's out of bounds. First and foremost, the score was 10-12, right? In that particular game, previously before that game, you had two running backs that had 100 yards rushing. The young phenom Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott, they both, and we was talking about this is the type of energy we need to bring to the Saints. Both of them had 100-yard rushing. On top of that, this team was on fire. They were showing everything that we were saying. This team has finally arrived. Kellen Moore with his calling other plays. Jason Garrett sitting on the sideline. The defense was coming around the corner because remember we were saying that the defense had to play themselves in shape because all offseason Byron Jones didn't play any snaps, or he didn't work out, wasn't out there in Oxnard because he had the hip surgery. And on the opposite side, on the front four, D-Law, he didn't participate in any preseason game or any offseason because he had his shoulder situation. So those two guys were pivotal key points of, dare I say, the defense. And Robert Quinn, people fail to realize, remember, the NFL hated on him because he was suspended for the first two games. So we were saying that, hey, Robert Quinn now should be better in shape. We should be ready to attack the Saints or what have you. But just to go over this particular game, there was a Jason Witten fumble. You remember that? And there was an Ezekiel Elliott fumble that really shouldn't have happened, but the NFL
shouldn't have been a fumble. Yep.
Yeah, the NFL they reviewed it. They sent it all the way to New York, and we already know who's in New York. That's the craziest thing. The reviewing official is in New York, so we knew we wasn't going to get that favorable call, right? We saw with our natural eyes that his elbow was inside the ground. On top of that, the NFL was trying to do a PR squeeze, in my opinion. You talk about conspiracy. Remember this, and tell me where I'm lying at, Cowboy Nation and beyond. Remember this. The Saints sued or put in a petition and to sue the NFL because of a pass interference. Lo and behold, out of this game, this 10-12 game, there were 2 PIs that never been called ever in the history of Amari Cooper. Never been called. Phantom PIs.
Phantom calls.
Drive killers. So,
and that was just them trying to make up and just get them that. They gave it to them.
Football is a game of inches. So we had to go through all of that for one, shooting ourselves in the foot because they gave Tony Pollard 0 snaps. Just before the game, the previous game, he had 120 yards rushing. I can't make this stuff up.
It's a true story right here, man. And it's sad too, man. It's sad, man, when you think about how that momentum went to waste like that. Because, and we've seen it time and time again. How many players have we seen break out for us? We saw it with Devin Smith earlier this year. You know what I mean? He comes out firing early in the season. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, whoa, man, he might do some things this year. I'm seeing now that he's a healthy scratch for a bunch of games. And I'm like, well, what's going on? Why Devin Smith he ain't getting no time? Right. And that's Garrett, man. That's all it was. But like I said, it's a new day, man.
It's a new
day. It's just sad when you think about it. It's really sad. All the players that we had that really didn't get a chance to really fulfill their potential, man, under the Garrett regime, man. It is really sad because I brought this up on your other show where I was talking about that Atlanta game, and I said, man, everybody was getting on that guy Chaz Green. You know what I mean? And don't give me, there's no excuse for that. He performed poorly in that Atlanta game where I think he allowed 4 sacks, and then what's the name came in and gave up another 2. But I said, listen, look at Chaz Green's career. You know what I mean? First of all, we drafted him too high. We took him in the 3rd round. He was really a 5th round pick. And on top of that, you know what I mean, we was bouncing him around from position to position early on in his career.
Right.
He's playing right tackle.
Guard.
Yeah. And then you wonder why he gets over there, and then he gets demolished. And then on top of that, when you see he's getting demolished, after the first two sacks, I'm like, all right, man, we got to get somebody else over there, put a tight end over there. Let's do something, get a running back, let's chip this dude. We did absolutely nothing.
But that was Dak Prescott's fault.
Absolutely nothing.
That was Dak Prescott's fault, just like the Saints game was Dak Prescott's fault.
Yeah, that's all on Dak though. That's Dak though.
You know,
come on, man. One of your early callers hit on it, man, and you could tell that everything a lot of it points to Jason Garrett when he said that Dak. He was like, without Dak Prescott, man, this is a 4-12 team. I was like, well, you saw that with Romo when Romo was hurt. I said, the season that Romo showed how good he was for the Cowboys was not one of the seasons where he put up a bunch of numbers. It was the season he got hurt. Yeah. He got hurt. That's when Tony Romo showed his value. We couldn't win a game without him.
Right.
We couldn't win a game without him.
Man,
he started off 3-0, right? Yeah. We couldn't win a game without him. I think he started off 3-0. Is that how it went? And then we went 1-12 down the stretch.
I think it was 2-0, and then we played we lost to the Falcons again. We lost to the Falcons. I think it's
okay. Yeah,
2-1, and then we was just like down the hill there.
Come on, man.
Something like that. I could be wrong.
Yo, man, and that's why I said that for years, man. And we all know, Cowboy Nation know. Without Romo, this was like a 3, 4, 5 win team every season. I said it because how many times over the years did we sit out there and watch our offense play super flat for years, and then it start rolling as soon as Romo get into his hurry up and he making adjustments at the line of scrimmage. Everybody used to say, my wife used to say, "Dad, baby, why you always wait till the play clock go down all the way down to the last second before he snaps?" I'm like, that's because he's changing them nut ass plays that they sending in there. You know what I mean? He's
right.
changing
Those
let
plays. Me change this. Kill. Yeah, with Jesse Holly when he was on the show, he was explaining what was going on, and we're like, yes, we get some confirmed. We get some confirmed. Confirmation. Yeah, we getting confirmation now. Yeah.
Yeah, and Jesse Holly, man, that was an awesome interview too, man. For all y'all out there who ain't check that out, y'all make sure y'all do that. That was awesome, man. Yeah, but Jesse Holly, he hit it on it too, man. We watched it. I think Amari Cooper, I forget what game it was. He was talking about a story where it was one of the games where he caught a bomb, and I think it was all because Dak had made the adjustment at the line of scrimmage. You know what I mean? After Garrett had called like an out route or a curl or something like that. That gave Amari the signal to go deep, and it was like, all right, well, you know what I mean? That was the best play for the defense they was running. You know what I mean? We watched it so many times, man. Like I said, but it's a new day. Like I said, just from Garrett being gone, that's an automatic 2 wins.
Right.
That's 2 more wins right there. You know what I mean? So, and then you up here asking people to do the impossible too, man. Ain't nobody gonna be able to find no 4 games that Garrett actually outcoached somebody, man. So I try to get people to achieve the impossible out here.
I started off at 5. I gave him 1. I dropped it down. All right. Let's just pull out 3 games, then. Let's find 3 games. You know what?
I'm fishing, man. I'm fishing, man, and I can't remember the last time I missed a game. I'm fishing. I'm like, damn, I really can't even really, it
was really.
I am fishing.
I guess I can say this the best game I've seen that we played on like both sides of the football was, and this was a good game because sometimes I go back and watch this game. It was a real good one. It was the 2014 season, I believe, and it was against the Colts. You remember that game? I think it was 2014.
Oh yeah, that? Yeah. Was that the game where what's the name had the 2 interceptions? Or am I mistaken?
No.
Am I going back too far? I'm going back too far.
It was a game
where Charlie had the 2 picks.
It was a game that Lance Dunbar, he was healthy. It was a game that DeMarco.
Oh yeah, that game. I went back way too far.
Yeah. He broke his hand, but they were still saying that, do you keep this momentum? Do you still play him or what have you? And it was a game that Tony Romo was on fire. That was probably the best complete game I ever seen the Dallas Cowboys play. I know somebody can say the Saints game. And this is another one I'm throwing out. The Saints game. When the Saints was undefeated, I believe those were the 2 games that I can really say we played really well.
But even with that one, I remember that too. A lot of it was Tony, man. Like so much of it was Tony, man. That's why I was like, he ain't get enough credit, man.
Yeah,
he ain't get enough credit, man. So
that's stretching my
what I mean. I'm trying to give Garrett credit, man. But it's like nowhere could I be like, yeah, he helped us here. Where I could say, yeah, he definitely did that. I'm just not seeing none of that, man. Yeah. Like I said, you was talking about it too with his whole thing with the roster, where how he always try to fit the square pegs in the round holes or round pegs in the square holes.
Yeah.
He was doing that for years, man. Like it's sad, man. Like I was on something else. I think it might have been Stills feed. He was talking about the safeties, and somebody mentioned J.J. Wilcox. Remember J.J. Wilcox, the safety that we had?
Yeah.
You remember him, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
J.J. Wilcox.
Come down and
and I'm up there like, but that was my whole thing though, man. This guy had strong safety written across his forehead, but we playing him at free safety his whole career. I'm like, come on, man. We wonder why he getting burnt. Oh, we play guys out of position so much, man. It's sad. But like I said, those days are done, man. I think from now on, you're going to see guys really being in a position to succeed on the football field with Mike McCarthy,
Yes,
Seriously.
indeed, Prime. Man, you put a lot on our mind, man. Man, you did, man. I really appreciate you so much, man. Anything else you got for
Oh,
the
no,
show?
man, I appreciate you. No, man, that was pretty much it, man. Like I said, keep doing what y'all doing. The interviews are fantastic. I went and checked out some of that behind the scenes, stuff from Darren Woodson's interview and all that, man. It's really good work, man. So like I said, I appreciate everything that you're doing. One more thing. I wanted to ask you about this, and this pertains to the safeties. It's not really about Garrett or the quarterback situation, but I wanted to ask you this. With the Jamal Adams thing, I just want to ask you this quick. With the resources that we can give up for Jamal Adams, I thought about this, that we have to give up to get Jamal Adams. And I'm just asking, what do you think? With those resources, would you rather get Jamal Adams for a first and a third and then turn around and have to pay him? Or would you rather do something like maybe re-sign or extend Cheeto and, let's say, Woods, and then maybe use that same first round of next year to draft another defensive back to really solidify the secondary? What would you think? Re-signing Cheeto, because with the money that you're going with the money that you're going to have to give Jamal Adams, that's enough money to bring back Woods and Cheeto next year. You could sign and extend them. That's enough to bring back both of them. So I just wanted to see what you think about that, and you can still go ahead and draft another defensive back in the first round, because you still have your first round pick. You haven't traded for Jamal Adams, and then that really might solidify the secondary. I just wanted to get your take on that. You know what I mean? Because I'm on a Jamal Adams hype train. Like I really want him, but I was like, damn, like what if we stayed put? You know what I mean? And really see what we had with Woods and some of those other guys like Wilson. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So yeah, I'm gonna leave you with that. I'm gonna go ahead and hop off, man, and then you can go into it and give me an answer, because I want to be able to hear it. I got my radio and everything turned down and all that.
All right,
cool. I want to be able to hear it.
All right, cool.
But thanks for everything. But let that marinate. So like I said, Jamal Adams or re-signing or extending Cheeto and Woods, because you'll have that's that money right there that you're gonna give Adams. That's enough to bring both of them back.
Man, you stretching
and
my
then
mind on this
go
one.
ahead and
yes,
draft it.
Indeed. Yeah, I'm gonna break it down as soon as we get off the phone. Then salute, bro.
All right, salute, man. Thanks again for everything.
Anytime, fam.
All right.
This is Sparta!
That's a good call, man, for the last caller of the day, man. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in to the show. The Jamal Adams giving up resources, valuable resources, a first and a third. It seems sexy for right now, but I just wouldn't want to do it. I would like to see this particular coaching staff. We've been institutionalized, or Garrett institutionalized, whatever the word somebody coined earlier, Garrett-ized, of thinking that in order for us to win, we have to have the best of the best in every category. I just think that I don't like for the Jets to win on that trade. That's just my thoughts. I think that Jamal Adams is a dynamic player. I think that he will put us over the top, but for us to give up a first and a third would be a lot of resources, in my opinion. And on top of that, that's giving the Jets a 5-year option for a player on their end. They will have 2 first-round draft picks with a 5-year option and a extra third-round draft pick, and we would lose our first. Now somebody can say, yeah, we going to the Super Bowl with Jamal Adams, and that's going to be the 32nd pick or what have you. But football is a strange lady, as Brian Broaddus would say. It's weird. Shout out to you, Francisco. I see you, man. I'll read your comment off air. My thing is the Xavier Wood and Cheeto Awuzie angle. We don't know what they are. We don't know what they are because of this staff been misutilizing both of those guys. I think that Woods can play a little closer to the line. I think he can play the deepest thirds. I think that you can send Woods in blitz situations and scenarios, and as well as Woods got the ability to play on the outside. I think that Cheeto Awuzie have the ability to kick the inside. Of course, Cheeto Awuzie looks horrible out there at times, but if you think about it, it's only 1 or 2 plays that you can really say that he was burnt on through his career. 1 or 2 that he was like, oh wow, where was he? He's always close to the ball. He just don't get his head around and pick off the ball. So when you start looking at his Colorado tape, you would say to yourself, They didn't just remain or keep him out on the outside. He played versatile in a situation. He played inside sometimes, and of course they kick him out to the outside. In Colorado, they blitzed him. They played him inside the slot. He played some positional flex as it relates to safety. So we don't know, So that's just how it goes with that. But a Jamal Adams situation, he's not just a box safety. I don't want people to say and take my words loosely with the Jamal Adams. But I will say that a first and a third, or even a Michael Gallup in a third, is just too rich for me for Jamal. I think that this team next year can go draft another, not say a Jamal, but another safety. And if we want to go line by line, Jamal is not my favorite safety in this situation. I like Anthony Harris over Jamal. I like the Justin Simmons over Jamal. And I think that both of those guys were drafted later than a Jamal. You know what I'm saying? If you guys can feel what I'm saying, I like their collective skill sets over a Jamal Adams, So let me know if I'm wrong. I love people's opinion, I love people's thoughts, but that's just where I'm coming from with it. And Josh C said Cheeto need to be released. We'll find out. We will find out definitely what's going to happen with the Cheeto Awuzie situation. Let me read some of your comments on this. And I know Jamal if he gets signed next week, 2 weeks from now, I will be one of the happiest Dallas Cowboys fan. I will be doing. Thank you for tuning in to the Law Nation Film Session. As you take a deeper look at Jamal Adams coming around the edge, he had 6 sacks last year. Let me break down the sack. You know what I'm saying? Put this in confines that DeMarcus Lawrence had 5 sacks. I know people going to say that. So it is what it is. Let me read some of your comments, man. Really appreciate everybody. I'll give a first for Adams, but that's it. Still got a big payday coming from Russell. Yeah. It's crazy, though. They want a first and a third, Not just the first. They want first and a third, and then they say, okay, we want you to pay them, too, That's just crazy, to me. Jeremy, what's good? I want Malik Hooker. Dude is a beast. Yeah, I like Malik. It just depends on what system we go into. Jimbo, we don't need to lose Cheeto. I feel what you're saying. We have a better coaches to show our youth what is needed is from PC 76. So Cowboy Nation, like I said, I really appreciate you all. That was my overtime speech. It's time for me to get back with the family. But on my way out, we're just going to play this one more time for those who kind of jumped in on the back end of what the conversational piece was all about today. The details of Dak Prescott contract. You want up to the minute. If you want good information, go somewhere else. But if you want great information, go to this guy right here, the voice of the star, Patrick Walker, with no C. Don't put a C in his name. He don't like that. But, here's the conversational piece right here, what he had to say. And we're going to play this real quick.
Well, currently where we are is the Cowboys. They've offered Dak Prescott a 5-year deal worth an average of around $35 million per year. Now, obviously, that comes up to a 5-year, $175 million max value deal. There's been no progress in the last few weeks, though, and the passing of his brother factors into that as well. But this most recent offer was put on the table as recently as just after the NFL Combine in Indianapolis. Now, I'm told that the guarantee money that's sitting on the table is approximately $105, $106 million. The Cowboys, they've come down from their ask of 6 or 7 years on their term. Dak Prescott countered initially with 3 years. He's come up to 4 years. So a little bit of a stalemate, but it's a minor impasse considering the Cowboys have planted their flag at 5 years and Dak Prescott sits at 4. Now, he's firm on 4, but he's open to 5. In order for the Cowboys to get that 5th year out of Dak Prescott, I'm told they're going to have to put more money on the table. That's probably going to have to come by way of the guaranteed money. They're willing to go upwards of $110 million or slightly more to try to get him in for that 5th year. But Dak Prescott, he's trying to put himself in position where he can renegotiate under the terms of the new collective bargaining agreement, new television contract money, possibly some gambling money that's coming into the league that's going to balloon the salary cap in the next couple of years. He wants to get in on that. So they're close. Nothing is imminent right now, but they're still on pace to get this deal done by the July 15th deadline.
Yeah, so what he said is they are on pace of getting this deal done by the July 15th deadline. That's his wonderful details of the contract there. I want you guys to check out Patrick Walker without the C, and he's the voice of the Star, and he got all of the great information as it relates to the breakdown of the contract. Of course, none of us got the contract right in our hands, but the negotiation factor is the negotiation factor. Remember this. Negotiation is never a pretty thing. It's never. It's always something that will drive you crazy, will drive you up the wall, will make you say, okay, I'm going to pick sides with the owners, or I'm going to pick sides with Dak Prescott. No. I'm going to pick sides with the agent. It's so many me's in this thing. But the reality of it is this is how contracts are done. It's just that our beloved Dallas Cowboys love to put it all on the forefront. They do. Don't forget to hit that like button, share this content, let a friend, neighbor, foe know where to go when they want to tune in to Cowboy Sports Talk and beyond. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let's turn me up. I gotta see some fire, baby. Derek, shout out to you. Toot Robinson. It's good. Yeah. Come on. All right. Let me tell you something, nation. Write this down. Put this in your mind. Please put this in your mind. How bad you want something? How bad is your desire? If you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time and your peace and your sleep for it, if all of your desires of it makes you quite mad enough that you don't get tired of it, and it makes you hold all of the things tawdry and cheap for it, if life itself seems empty and useless without it, and all that you scheme and dream is about it, if you will gladly go out and sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it and lose all terror of God or man for it. Oh, baby, if you'll simply go out there and sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it and lose all terror of God for it. My friend, my Cowboy Nation, you will get it. If dogged and grim and beseated and besetted with the help of Almighty, you will get this thing. Keep your head high, Cowboy Nation. Don't fall into the traps and the ramifications of being what we think that we thought that we were. Let's continue to grind, baby. Let's open up our minds to everything and understand that this right here is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. This is. I can't lie to kick it. I can't sit there and say, look, this is where we're going to be at forever. What we seen before. I always tell people, it's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. This team right here, this guy, this coach that sat back and said, I'm going to do a self-inventory of myself. And he sat there and said, okay, let me go out there and get the best. Oh, I want to put this into your heart, souls right quick. The two teams that we lost to the playoffs to, we got them now on our roster. I know a lot of people are going to go over their head, but the two teams that we lost to the playoffs to, we got them on our roster. Who do we went out there and get? Did we go out there and get the LA Rams? No. Did we go out there and get the Green Bay Packers? No. We got their intel. We got their intellect. We went there and got the 2016 head coach from the Green Bay Packers on our team now. Oh, Lord, you're reaching. Oh, but I'm teaching, baby. Let me tell you something. We went out there and we lost to the LA Rams. They ran back and forth on us like night and day. Ran all over us. Couldn't stop the bleeding. Oh, all we did was went out there and got Skip Peete, who was coaching that team, running team. Oh, that's intel. That's information for the nation. It's on our side now. That's planning. That's preparation. That's outthinking the masses. Oh, we just didn't stop there. We went out there and got their special team as well. You see what I'm saying, Cowboy Nation? Let's go. Let's go. I hope you guys understanding what I'm saying, baby. Let's go. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let's go. Watch that beat come in. Yeah. Don't party like a cowboy party, 'cause a cowboy party don't